A chilling hush blankets the scene, the air thick with anticipation. A black screen endures, wrapping viewers in darkness until the sound of crunching footsteps slices through the silence, resonating like a haunting echo. Suddenly, a flicker splashes light onto. A chilling hush blankets the scene, the air thick with anticipation. A black screen endures, wrapping viewers in darkness until the sound of crunching footsteps slices through the silence, resonating like a haunting echo. Suddenly, a flicker splashes light onto the screen. A lone lantern, cloaked in mystery and sorrow. The year is 1922, and the farmhouse stands as a witness to an unspeakable tragedy. Nestled in the heart of the German countryside, it harbors secrets that the wind whispers through its creaking walls. The sound of those footsteps, once familiar and innocent, transforms into an ominous prelude, setting the stage for the darkness that will envelop this quiet family. As the days slip by, unease nestles into the corners of the home. Cries of laughter fade, replaced by an unsettling silence that echoes through the attic. Warmth now lives under the shadow of an unseen presence. What unseen eyes watch from above? Then, in a population teetering on the edge of fear, the unthinkable occurs. The chilling discovery unfolds within those walls. The family, once vibrant, now lies still and intertwined in a macabre tableau. They were all found brutally murdered, victims of a horror that transcends comprehension. How could this evil seep into such a tranquil setting? And who or what was the catalyst behind it? As whispers of the haunting tale spread, they intertwine with the ancient history of the land. The old farmhouse becomes a monument to dread, a place where legacies of fear linger like the mist rolling off the fields. Those footsteps echoing through the whispers of the trees serve as a chilling reminder. Not every path leads to safety, and some footsteps never lead back. In this poignant tale of tragedy, the heartbeat of mystery pulses beneath every gust of wind, the weight of an unresolved story that continues to grasp at the soul of those who hear it. The farmhouse, standing defiant against time, retains its secret, forever haunted by the past, ever beckoning those brave enough to uncover its truths. Stay glued as we delve into the story. In the heart of Bavaria, among rolling hills and expansive fields, lies Hinterkaifeck, a secluded farmstead steeped in time. Its black and white archival photos whisper stories of a simpler era, where days were marked by the toil of land and the warmth of family. The sepia tones of the drone shot convey a sense of somber beauty, fading into the shadows of history. This was the world of the Gruber family in the winter of 1922, a place where innocence met the encroaching chill of fate. Andreas Gruber stands as the patriarch, a formidable figure known within the community for his unforgiving demeanor. His stern face, etched with the lines of hard labor, reflects a life dedicated to the relentless pursuit of agricultural success. Every furrow in the earth beneath his hands tells tales of struggle and survival. But emotions are hardly spoken here. With each glance, one could sense a weight pressing upon his heart. Could it be loneliness forged in silence? Around him swirls a family shaped by adversity. Cecilia Gruber, Andreas's devoted wife, had passed long ago, leaving behind a legacy wrapped in whispers. Their daughter, Victoria Gabriel, now a widow, fills the air with her enchanting voice, resonating through the quaint village church. Yet, amid her melodic praises, shadows dwell, for behind her singing is a heart burdened by loss. Her gentle yet firm demeanor provides comfort to her young children, 7-year-old Cecilia, filled with dreams, and mischievous 2-year-old Joseph, unaware of the dark specters lingering just beyond their happiness. On the cusp of the day's end, a new figure enters. Maria, the maid, her nervousness visible like the frost settling on the fields. It's her first day, stepping into the layers of life at Hinterkaifeck, clutching at empty hopes for a fresh start. She carries within her a blend of trepidation and optimism, ready to be part of the fabric of this family, yet oblivious to the veils of danger that close in around them. In the growing darkness, a chilling narrative begins to unfold. The Gruber family, wrapped in their routines and fragments of joy, remains unaware of the eyes that watch from the edges of this tranquil yet eerie landscape. The serenity of Hinterkaifeck is about to be shattered, as the unseen threatens to seep into their everyday existence, intertwining their lives with lurking malevolence. As the winds howl through the empty farmland and the last rays of light flicker out, the quiet spell of winter looms ominously over them. The chill of winter hung thick in the air as a blanket of pristine snow enveloped the landscape. Each morning, Andreas Gruber began his day by observing the path leading from the dense woods to his secluded farmhouse. Among the sparkling white, a singular anomaly caught his eye. Pristine boot prints stretching from the trees but vanishing, like smoke in the wind, just beyond his threshold. A sense of discomfort enveloped him. for the absence of return tracks suggested an intruder, a harbinger of unsettling events to unfold. As days passed, the Gruber family experienced a creeping unease that seeped into their daily lives. The once comforting atmosphere of their home became tinged with apprehension. Late at night, the floorboards creaked under the weight of unseen movement, a shuffling sound that reverberated through the quiet rooms. The ethereal whispers echoed above, where darkness reigned in the cramped confines of the attic. Beneath the sheet of snow, dread brewed with each passing night, amplifying the family's paranoia. Then it happened, the moment that shattered their fragile peace. A newspaper arrived at their doorstep, its headline foreign and irrelevant, bearing no mark of purchase from their hands. It was as if it materialized from a realm untouched by their mundane routines. They exchanged glances filled with unspoken fear. Something sinister stirred in the shadows surrounding their home. The sense that they were being watched paralyzed them, especially when keys vanished without explanation, leaving them stranded in their own dwelling, prisoners to an unknown force lurking just beyond their reach. The home that had once been a sanctuary now felt like a trap, an invasive presence weaving itself into the fabric of their lives. It was unsettling to consider the implications. They were not alone. The void of the attic, where whispers lingered ominously, held secrets entwined with the fabric of their existence. A shivering realization invaded their minds. Each sound, each creak signified a life they could not discern. They became prisoners to their fear, aware that with each passing moment, the snow-covered path in question was merely the beginning of something inexplicably dark. The murky stillness of the barn enveloped the night, a grim setting for the tragedy that was about to unfold. As the barn door creaked open, shadows danced ominously in the flickering lantern light. The air was thick with an eerie tension, each sound echoing like a foreboding whisper. On that fateful night, March 31st, 1922, a malevolent force lurked in the darkness, waiting to ensnare its unsuspecting victims, one by one, pulling them from the safety of their home into the jaws of horror. Andreas, the patriarch, was the first to succumb to the sinister plot. With a swift and brutal strike of a mattock, he crumpled into the hay, his life extinguished in an instant. The soft rustle of hay provided a haunting backdrop to the chaos, muffling the chilling finality of his demise. His thud onto the scattered straw seemed to serve as a morbid signal, a harbinger of what was yet to come. For no sooner had he fallen than Kazelia followed, seduced by the promise of safety beyond the confining walls of their farmhouse. Victoria, their beloved daughter, knew something was amiss. Her scream pierced the night like a fragile shard of glass, shattering the silence that had settled over the barn. But her pleas were met only with silence and despair, as her fate ended in the same gruesome manner as her parents. The innocent cries of little Kazelia, only 7, echoed within the barn, only to be cut short with heartbreak. Clumps of her own hair were found tangled within her grasp, a testament to her struggle as she bore witness to the unspeakable cruelty, the last vestiges of her brief life snuffed out alongside her family. Amidst the chaos and the forbidding confines of their farmhouse, the maid Maria lay slumbering in her bed, utterly unaware of the horrors unfolding outside. She had only tasted a single day of service within this house of nightmares, yet it was to be her last. The tranquil innocence of a baby, Joseph, imprisoned in his crib, also fell victim to the merciless hand that struck down his family. In the aftermath, silence draped the scene like a shroud. Bodies hidden beneath scattered hay, erased from existence but never from memory. A quiet blanket of sorrow settled over the land, forever marking March 31st as a day of unfathomable loss. In the wake of the tragedy that befell the Gruber family, life on the farm trudged on, veiling a deep and unsettling silence. For 4 long days, a plume of gray smoke ascended from the farmhouse chimney, a sinister reminder of the horror that had unfolded within its walls. The sun cast shadows across the fields, illuminating the illusion of normalcy, as if the land itself dared to forget. Yet, it was the eerie stillness that gripped the heart of the community, where whispers spread like wildfire, hinting at the dark truth hiding amongst familiar sights. While the smoke billowed upwards, cows were fed, their soft moos echoing across the barn. Routine continued as it always had, their munching sounds eerily juxtaposed against the heavy atmosphere shrouding the farm. Doors creaked but did not swing open widely. They were bolted shut, as if the occupants knew that the outside world was not safe. The air was thick with unspoken words, with fear clinging to the edges of quotidian life. Meals were prepared and half-eaten at the wooden table, remnants of family life stubbornly resisting the cold grip of death. Passers-by noticed movement within, shadows gliding across the dimly lit windows, as if whoever lingered there had adopted a life of unsettling normalcy. They moved about with a strange ease, perhaps attempting to forge a connection with a home now stained with the blood of its former residents. Lurking in the depths of the farmhouse, the intruder made the space their own, mixing the mundane with the monstrous, forever tainting the memories of laughter and warmth. The whispers grew louder as nefarious thoughts spread. Was this specter feeding off the life left behind, or merely pretending, a phantom of the past leading a charade? As the days turned into nights, the low whisper of a lullaby would sometimes drift through the air, haunting the surrounding fields. It was a chilling serenade, seemingly sung by the very walls of the farmhouse, invoking a sense of dread. Moments of silence followed, pregnant with the weight of unaddressed grief, creating a chasm between reality and the horror that lingered. In the collective consciousness of the community, the notion that whoever had orchestrated such a dark deed still roamed the grounds became an inescapable truth. Disturbing threads began to weave tighter with each sunset as the sun dipped below the horizon, and the farm transformed into a ghostly reminder of what once was, where shadows of the past met the palpable tension of the present. In the heart of a once vibrant village, an unsettling atmosphere lingered. As villagers crossed the weathered path leading to the farm, their voices echoed with a mix of concern and confusion. A whisper of unease fluttered in the air, growing thicker with every step they took toward a place that had always been filled with laughter and life. Yet today, no familiar sounds greeted them. No joyful calls from children or the warm hum of a family bustling about their daily tasks. Something was terribly amiss. At the center of this gathering was a man who had always lived in the shadows of his neighbors. He approached the barn, apprehension knotted tightly in his chest. With hands trembling, he opened the heavy wooden door, its creak breaking the palpable silence. Then a gasp escaped his lips, a sharp inhale that filled the air with dread. Inside, a scene unfolded that would forever haunt the villagers. A nightmare laid bare amidst the hay and dust. The remains of a family, once the source of joy, were now a horrifying tableau. Andreas, Victoria, and little Kazilia lay together, their lives extinguished as if snuffed out by a dark force that had invaded their home. Days earlier, laughter had danced among these walls, a warm refuge filled with love. Now the empty spaces echoed with grief, a stark contrast to the vibrant memories that lingered in the minds of the villagers. The shock rippled through the community like a chill wind, snapping people back to the present moment, their hearts heavy with sorrow and disbelief. Around them, the whispers of the deceased seemed to hang in the air, painting a poignant portrait of lives abruptly ended. The villagers, each grappling with their own grief, shared a collective horror that would bind them together in a haunting memory. As the weight of the tragedy settled over the village, thoughts turned to those who might have been spared. In a neighboring house, silence reigned. The echoes of Maria and baby Joseph danced through the minds of those standing outside, wondering about the innocence lost and what dark force could haunt their land. The scene they witnessed that day would not only leave a mark on their hearts, but would delve deep into the fabric of their lives, twisting their perceptions of safety and community into something unrecognizable. The very essence of their home had been shattered, leaving a story of loss that would ripple through generations. In the shadowy depths of Bavaria, a chilling case unfolded, leaving an indelible mark on the community. Old police files whispered secrets of a time when justice seemed just out of reach. Black and white photographs captured the stern faces of detectives, resolute yet haunted by their endeavors. Maps, meticulously detailed, traced the routes of both the investigators and the elusive figure who slipped through their fingers like smoke. Each piece of evidence lingered in the air, heavy with unanswered questions. As the investigation progressed, the police turned to the surrounding community, questioning neighbors who might have witnessed something amiss. Vagrants, often ignored, were brought in for questioning, perhaps holding fragments of truth hidden in their stories. Rumors fluttered like restless birds through the village. Victoria's lovers, each more mysterious than the last, came under scrutiny. The air crackled with tension as theories blossomed. Revenge for a slight long forgotten, a robbery that had spiraled into violence, or perhaps jealousy breeding a deadly resolve. Each theory, meticulously laid out, felt like a puzzle piece that simply would not fit. Amidst the chaos of theories and speculation, a darker thought began to take shape in the minds of the investigators. What if the killer was not just a chance encounter, but someone who had stalked Victoria? Some speculated that the killer had inhabited the very attic of her home, a ghostly observer who had watched and waited, knitting plans that would eventually culminate in horror. The notion sent shivers down the spines of those searching for the truth. Not only had their prey been silenced, but an unseen presence had evaded capture, slipping away like shadows at dusk. Yet, despite their tireless efforts, no one was ever apprehended. The ghost of this unsolved case hung heavy in the fog-laden streets of Bavaria, intertwining with the daily lives of its residents. Whispers of Victoria's fate echoed in hushed tones, a reminder of the fragility of safety and the presence of the inexplicable. The mystery lingered, unsolved, pulling at the hearts of all who dared to ponder it. It became a dark tale woven into the very fabric of the community, a reminder that some answers remain eternally out of reach, shrouded in shadows, hidden in the corners of the human psyche. In the stillness of the present-day farmland, where the once bustling Hinterkaifeck farmhouse stood, a somber stone memorial now occupies its place. The wind whispers softly through the empty fields, carrying with it the echoes of a troubled past that continues to linger. Locals often share hushed tales about the unsettling occurrences that find their way through the night. As shadows stretch long across barren lands, they speak of elusive footsteps and ghostly voices that stir beneath the cloak of darkness. Each whispered word adds to an air of mystery that shrouds the area, embedding the legend of Hinterkaifeck deeper into the hearts of those who dwell nearby. The memorial stands as a solemn reminder, yet it does little to dispel the myths that have taken root over time. People come to the site, seeking a deeper connection to the chilling story that envelops the fields like an ever-present fog. Some bring flowers, others leave candles. Yet all respect the silence of those lost, their memories intertwined with the land's haunting loneliness. As the sun dips below the horizon, the farmland transforms. Shadows dance in the moonlight, and nocturnal sounds fill the air, creating an ambiance that feels alive. The creaking floorboards of a long-gone farmhouse can almost be heard, a ghostly symphony stalking the night, reminding visitors of the life that once flourished in these now desolate fields. People flock to tell their stories of experiencing an unexplainable pull, a strong urge to return to the memorial, as if it sings an ancient tune only they can hear. Who draws them closer, compelling them to explore the history hidden beneath the soil, a history steeped in tragedy and mystery, where the past intersects with the present. The faint cries of a baby drift in the night, hearkening back to a time when laughter once echoed through the halls of the farmhouse. It pierces the stillness, a reminder of what was lost and what still lingers. Generations come and go, yet the land remains, witnessing it all. The joys, the sorrows, and the legacy of Hinterkaifeck, forever etched into its fields. In the end, the impact of the farmhouse's demise continues to deeply resonate. As long as the wind continues to blow, the stories of the past and the spirits that inhabit this land will endure, weaving an inescapable narrative of haunting beauty. A black screen envelops the viewer, creating an atmosphere thick with anticipation. Suddenly, the only sound that breaks this darkness is the echo of footsteps, each step reverberating off the walls of an unseen space. The footfalls draw closer, a chilling reminder of the presence that once lurked in the shadows before everything abruptly falls silent, leaving an unsettling void that lingers in the air. In the heart of a desolate farmstead lies Hinterkaifeck, a place marred by mystery and bloodshed. 6 lives were extinguished in a brutal act that shocked the surrounding community. The whispers of the past cling to the ground like the morning fog, amplifying the peculiar tale of the killer who seemingly vanished without a trace. Some locals claim the murderer met their demise years ago, wiped from existence as if they were a mere ghost. Yet, others argue that the shadow of that dark figure still haunts the land, the footsteps echoing through the attic, a grim reminder of their presence. The terrifying intrigue continues as the narrative unfolds, sparking questions that chill the spine. What truly happened on that fateful night? Did the residents of the farmhouse sense the peril closing in? Would you have felt the chill of an impending doom? As the investigation spirals into history, one can't help but wonder, is the specter of the past truly buried, or is it merely lying in wait, biding time until it chooses to strike again in the stillness of night? In the eerie quiet of Hinterkaifeck, imagination takes flight, and the audience is faced with a compelling invitation. Would you survive the footsteps in the attic? This haunting folklore embodies the collective dread that something lurks just beyond the veil of safety. Each creak of the floorboards, each rustle of the wind, sounds like a precursor to dire events, igniting primal fears within. As the tale encapsulates the listener, it not only tells of past horrors, but also beckons them to ponder their own resilience when faced with the unknown. If this story taught you any lesson about mysteries of life, and you are interested in more of such horror stories, click the subscription button to subscribe to my channel for more real-life chilling horror stories. Thanks for watching.